The next movie that I saw this week is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. And oh my god, yes, this one is great. This is, I think, like the 7th Ninja Turtles movie, and I don't think I didn't see like the Michael Bay ones. I don't think I saw TMNT, which was like a previous animated one, but I did see the original 3 live action Ninja Turtles movies in the 90s, and I'm pretty sure I watched the cartoon and stuff. But this is the first time that I can remember, out of all of the incarnations of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I've seen, this is the first time where they've actually felt like teenagers. Because in the past, to portray them as quote-unquote teenagers, they've had them be like surfer dudes. And like, that kind of feels, pretty dated now. That's more of like an 80s and 90s idea of what a cool dude is the surfer dude. But here they're just kids. They feel like kids. They cast actual teenagers to play them. And the whole plot is about, them feeling fairly isolated while they're going through their teenage hormones and kind of, wanting to be accepted by humanity and like go to high school and be popular and stuff like that. And I thought it was a really cool and unique way to go about it. And Splinter is like a completely different character in this movie. He's played by Jackie Chan, which I didn't realize until I got to the end credits, but Splinter has always been portrayed as like the master of a dojo who's the turtles are his students, but here he's their dad. He's just very explicitly just their dad, and he's just trying his hardest to keep them safe. He taught them all their martial arts from watching like Bruce Lee movies and looking up YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. And he just trained them all in that because he thinks that humans are dangerous and just want to kill them all, and so he wants them to be protected. So a lot of what they do is he just has them go out to run errands at night, go and steal stuff from like stores without being seen, without being caught, just to be safe. And Leonardo, who's, the leader, he's always the one who's trying to respect the wishes of, Splinter. But the others, they kind of want to go out and see things. They always sound like, come on, Leonardo, he never leaves the sewer. He doesn't know how long things take. We could just go. There's like a outdoor movie being played. And that's actually one thing I want to touch on is there's a lot early in the movie of them using like live action stuff. Like they go out and they're seeing people watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and it is like just actual footage of Ferris Bueller's Day Off that they're watching, even though the whole movie is animated in a single style except for that stuff. And I know that like the art style in this movie is kind of derivative of Spider-Verse in a little bit. Like, I'm very glad that Spider-Verse gave animation studios a kick in the pants, so not everything is just that bubbly CalArt style, that they're starting to experiment more. But when Across the Spider-Verse used live action, because Across the Spider-Verse had so many different art styles, that throwing in live action as well, it's just like, okay, well, this is just another one of the art styles in the mishmash. Whereas in this movie, it's all the same animation style, except for showing the YouTube videos and Enter the Dragon and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And that makes it stick out like a sore thumb, because that just feels like, okay, well, now you're just taking me out of the movie. If all of these humans are here and all the humans are animated the same way as you, how come these videos are live action? So I don't think that part works very well. Honestly, I like that Shredder isn't in this movie. Not as the villain. They like tease him at the end. That's super minor spoiler, but that's more just like a sequel tease. A lot of the dialogue in this movie works really well because they recorded their voice sessions in groups. So anytime the turtles are talking, all 4 of the actors are in the studio at the same time, bouncing off each other. So there's a lot of just like, when they're just like acting like kids being kids and like teasing each other or riffing off each other, a lot of that is just because they're actually just being teenagers. And I think like Seth Rogen was talking about how it was just from observing them in like the kitchen of the recording studio, just kind of hanging out and doing that with each other, that he realized, oh, this is a dynamic that we actually have to capture. So all of their stuff is always like done in groups. Seth Rogen and John Cena play Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know which one is which, because those guys, could you even tell me which one of those is the Rhino and which one is the Warthog? Because I couldn't tell you that. It's just they're Bebop and Rocksteady. It's just they're a unit. And anytime Ice Cube, who plays Superfly, the villain, anytime he's interacting with the turtles, he was in studio with them. So there's a lot of great, cross interaction. And I really wish more animated movies would do this, because a lot of stuff I understand it's easier just to have your actor come in and read their lines. When you've got multiple actors in studio together, there's a lot more scheduling that has to go into that. You got to make sure everyone's schedules sync up. But I think it makes for a better product, and I really wish more animation projects would do this. And also, like, more projects in general, because like one example that I think of the way that, like, in the first Transformers movie with the Michael Bay one with Shia LaBeouf, everyone kind of has that, you know, improvisational style, especially Shia LaBeouf, the way he, you know, is constantly repeating things and talking over himself and going no and stuff like that. And that works when he's talking with the other actors, but it never works when he's talking with the Transformers, because the Transformers are all voice actors who are just recording their lines in a booth separate from everything else. And some of these lines, like, they're just reading what's in the script, and it doesn't like react to the way that Shia LaBeouf is talking to the Transformers. And so, like, there's a very strong tonal mismatch between what Shia is saying and what the Transformers are saying. And like, if you had the voice actors on set to, you know, riff off of and respond to his dialogue in that way, that would have worked better. So I just wish more projects would do this. Let's talk about the soundtrack. I don't remember actually much about just the general score itself, though I was surprised to learn that it was Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails who did the movie score, and they're doing a lot of movie scores these days, which I love. I think Trent Reznor is a great musician, but the reason I don't remember the score itself so much is the soundtrack is phenomenal. This is like a hip-hop soundtrack through and through. They're picking great songs, newer ones, classics, and it's just a big vibe. And the fact that Ice Cube is playing the lead villain just gives the whole movie a very hip-hop vibe to it, you know? And Superfly, I think, is a great villain. He's, you know, he comes across as, you know, he's like a gang leader. Superfly and Splinter actually kind of have a good, like Superfly is kind of like a foil for Splinter, because both of them hate humans, because, you know, both of them have experienced like Superfly has his whole crew of mutants that basically he raised from babies. It was, you know, the same incident like 15 years ago that created the Turtles, and Splinter also created Superfly and the other mutants. Actually, Superfly was like the original mutant that his dad, who was voiced by Giancarlo Esposito, created. But Superfly wants to like destroy humans and like take the whole mutant ooze thing and basically turn it on the entire world, which will cause, you know, all animals everywhere to mutate. Which will then leads to them turning on humans and killing off the humans, which is what Superfly wants. But it's not what the Turtles want. The Turtles like humans. And it kind of, you know, put Splinter in a bind, because Splinter hates humans too, because Splinter has only ever experienced revulsion and hostility from humans, and so he doesn't want the Turtles to interact with humans. This is also one of the things where the movie like wants to have its cake and eat it too, because the whole impetus for the Turtles to try and stop Superfly is that they realize that the humans are never going to accept them unless they can be seen as heroes. So they want to take on Superfly so that they can be seen by the public as heroes, and then they'll be accepted. But as soon as, like, you know, they're fighting and like it gets on the news, well, everybody's just like, oh, all of these mutants are just attacking New York, and like these turtles seem like the ringleaders for it, and they're like, oh, I guess they're never going to accept us, and we were getting into the hero thing for the wrong reasons. But we should still do the right thing and stop Superfly, because he's going to kill humans. And we've met April O'Neil, and she's a good human, so we know that they can be good. And then they save the day, and humans accept them. So it's like they had the moment where they realized that in reality, just because you're a model minority doesn't mean you get accepted, but then everyone accepts them. Hopefully, because like I know they're planning sequels from this, and I haven't looked at the box office numbers for this movie, but I'm pretty sure it's doing pretty well. Pretty sure they're gonna make sequels of it. It's been critically well received, and I would like to see in a sequel that we see that not all humans accept them, and not just like the villain humans. You know, I kind of want to see some like more casual bigotry against mutants in the movie. I think that would be good to see. But yeah, overall, I think this is a great movie. It's animated beautifully. It has this kind of like a scribbly sketchbook style to it, like it was like a teenager who was drawing in crayon on a sketchbook. That's the kind of vibe that you get from the movie. I think it looks great. Highly, highly recommend this movie. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm trying to get my channel monetized, so your view means a lot. Don't forget to toss me a like and subscribe and ring the bell. I stream these reviews every Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific, so catch me live and join in on the convo. You can find all my socials in the description below, and thank you to all my patrons with a special shout out to Piftle Cakes and Ryan D. Your support means the world. Catch you next time.